Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Westies and Besties podcast. I'm your host, Alex, one of the co-founders of Westies and Besties magazine. Today, we're delighted to actually introduce you to our first Westie Guardian based in Canada. So we're excited about this. So Catherine Hamilton is one of the founders of the West Highland White Terrier Club of Western Canada, aka Club Westie. Have I got that right, Catherine?
You have.
Awesome. Again, it's a pleasure for you to join us, and I believe we have a bit of a guest as well sat on your lap. Yeah.
You. That's Clifford.
What a beauty!
Yeah.
Absolute beauty. Wow, look at him.
He's a British champion, aren't you? He's a Canadian grand champion and a British champion.
Really?
Yeah. He's from the Hope Charm Kennel, which is near Preston.
Wow, fantastic.
Sorry, just stomping somebody.
That's okay. Excellent. Okay, so Catherine, then, if you could just tell us a bit about yourself, what made you fall in love with the Westies? I know you've got you're quite the expert when it comes to Westies, yeah?
Well, maybe not an expert, but we do our best. We fell in love with the breed in the 80s, and we bought two. We were back in England because my father was unwell, and we went to what we now know, of course, was a puppy mill in Cornwall and picked up two Westie puppies, and we've not had less than two in the house since. So that was in 1989. We brought them back to Canada with us in 91, and then in 95, I was back in England, and John Hodgson at the Fursley Kennel let me have a little puppy girl, and we brought her back to Canada. And 2 years later, we brought back a little boy from John Hodgson in 1997, and the rest is history, as they say. And we've brought over quite a few dogs from the Hope Charm Kennel and the Lovell Kennel. So we've remained good friends with both Shauna Fryer and Ida Boas.
Mm-hmm.
And as it sort of is evolved into needing to do more for the breed and preserve the breed.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow. Well, okay, but we'd love to come on to that in a second. So about yourself as well. You're a UK native and you emigrated to Canada, is that right?
Yeah, I immigrated in 1976. So been backwards and forwards quite a bit. But so obviously, I like the British dogs and the look of the British dogs and trying to, getting down. But so we landed in Winnipeg, which was like, oh my goodness, it was a real culture shock in 76, let me tell you, to come from England to Canada. Real culture shock. And then we moved over to BC, and then we were up in northern Alberta, where we found a little dog that had been abandoned, and we took him in. And then we served our time in Alberta and came out to Vancouver Island, because Alberta is like minus 40 and what have you. So we've seen, like I say, served our time in the cold and came to BC and the Vancouver Island, which is very much like England. The climate is very much like it is in the UK. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah. So much.
So was that a bit of a shock for you when you first went over there?
Oh, culture shock! Oh my goodness, we were so far behind in Canada in so many things, and the clothing was just like, oh my goodness, was a real shock to me. So, but you adapt. You have to. You move to another country, and it's, my father said, you do as the Romans do. There's none of this. My accent doesn't fit well. Too bad. It was. It's the way it should be. If you want to move to another country, then you should be prepared to adapt to their ways and follow their flag, right, Cliffy?
Except for if you're a Westie, of course. You're just going to Westie no matter where you are.
Yeah, that's right. And then you have a Scottish flag stamped on your bum, right, darling?
Awesome. Yeah. Brilliant. So, if you could just tell us a bit more about what you've actually been doing with Westies, because I know you show them quite often, or have done previously.
Yeah, we show, we do confirmation showing. We also do, we've done some sprinter which is the dogs absolutely love it, and they have sprinter titles, and they actually think they're chasing a rabbit, but it's actually a plastic bag. But they absolutely love it, and we have so much fun. And we have the oldest Westie in Canada was bred by us. That's still racing. She's going to be 10 soon. And we also have the fastest Westie in Canada, who's bred by us too. So we all love it around here. So it's a lot of fun, and they're screaming when they see the bag, when they know where they are, and they're racing against themselves. Their time is all times, but it's a lot of fun, great deal of fun. And then we do a little bit of barn hunt. We've got a few out there with barn hunt titles, but it's quite time consuming for us. So my primary focus is breeding them properly.
Right.
Raising and breeding them properly is a big thing for me, and being able for them to be able to do what they're supposed to do, which is race and show and live a good life. And confirmation wise, we also have a handler. His name is David Gignac. He's shown Westies in Canada forever, and he shows for us. So we're very proud of that too, that we have such a esteemed handler to show our dogs.
So, if in case there's somebody watching and they've always fancied doing something like this, how did you get into it, and how could people get into this? Where did they go for the advice?
Well, we have a link called Canuck Dogs, and it's now taken over by the CKC, but they have all the types of shows and confirmation and all the activities that go on with dogs across Canada linked on there, and you can look it up. Say you want to do sprinter or barn hunt, you can click and you can find out where the next one is in the country, and different provinces have different times, and it's a very, very useful site for anybody in Canada. Canuck Dogs. So, and we get all our dog show results and everything on there, and they have all the standings, the dogs' standings, who's top dog, who isn't, and that sort of thing. So that's very useful. But the CKC is also a very good link. You can link to the CKC, and that will give you some ideas of what to do. And there's even a trick title, and the CKC also has a junior handling link, so youngsters can click on it and learn junior handling and the different breeds and the groups before they even come to the shows and start actually handling the dogs. So we've got one youngster out there called Ruby, and she's doing really well. So she's done all that. She's learned it all herself, and it's just amazing. So she's 11 now.
Wow. 11. Has she done that off her own back, or has she been brought up in the environment?
She has a couple of Westies, and she came to my home for a grooming with one of her dogs, and she saw what we call a select ribbon, and it's like a rainbow ribbon. And she said, "What is that?" And I said, "Oh, that's Georgie's Select from a specialty show." And she said, "Oh." And she went away, and then next thing she wants to know how she can win one of those ribbons. So I sent her to the link with the CKC, and she did all that all by herself, and she'd phone me and ask me questions. She's 9 at this time. And then she came to a couple of shows, and she showed some dogs, and she got some ribbons, and she often wins her junior class. She just moved up to the next level now. So we're always looking for dogs for her to show, aren't we, Clifford? So
wow, that's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. 9 years old. Wow.
Yeah. Now she's 11 now, but she's really doing well. But we've got to bring the young up, because we're all aging out, all of us. Like I'm thinking to myself, goodness, last man standing around here at the moment. So because we're aging out, and we've got to get youngsters in the breed, haven't we, fella?
Absolutely, because they're a beautiful, beautiful breed. They're great with kids as well, haven't they? Yeah. They're really good. Yeah, they're brilliant. So these sort of events, how often are they? The annual, or are they more frequent than that?
Dog shows in Canada are held most weekends. In the UK, of course, you have the big championship shows, and we might have a show in each province. So our numbers are lower, but if you count them all up across the country for a weekend, you'll see that our numbers are as equal to the population in the UK. We just have, huge distances between us. So, there might be a show this weekend, there's a show in Chilliwack, and Amy's out with David this weekend. but there's also one, I think, in Calgary. But so you see across the country, there might only be 26 dogs in the terrier group, but there'll be 26 terriers in Alberta as well, and BC, and then Ontario. So it's very different to the UK, to the big championship shows, which are just incredible. And we've been to them. But yeah, so it's different, but it's the same. Everybody's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And so, do you predominantly just stay in Canada when you're doing these shows, or do you travel globally?
We've been down to the US a few times and shown down there, but we don't really leave the country at the moment.
Right.
And if we're showing elsewhere, it would be probably we don't show elsewhere, but friends of ours have been to Crufts with their Westie. My friend Carol Hoffnagel, her Westie was the first Canadian bred to win breed over there a few years back.
Wow.
So, we try, even though we're so far away.
That's amazing. Because at Crufts earlier this year, I went down and spent more time with the shows at all the Westies. It was like tripping up and stumbling into heaven, basically.
Yeah. The first time I went, I think the first time I went to Crufts was 97, and there was 200 Westies. I think it was John Hodsoe that was judging, and I think it took all morning just to do the dogs. And then the bitches were on in the afternoon, but the numbers have dropped so dramatically compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, we interviewed Malcolm of the Clan Malcolm, of Poltilloch, where his great grandfather actually started to breed him, Colonel Malcolm, as you know.
Yeah.
And he was saying he was one of the judges once at Crufts, and he said about the same numbers as well as yourself, Kath. It was about 200, and once one started barking, then the whole lot started barking. He said it was chaos.
That'll be the Westies for you. Shouting, always shouting, aren't you?
Yeah, they've got great, strong vocal cords. Yeah,
they do.
I don't mind other things.
Amongst the big, deep woofs, but when they get the high pitchy yap, 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 it's awful. You have a nice bark, don't you? Yeah.
And I love it when the Westie woo woo as well. When they start
the woo little... we call them woo dogs. Woo. We've got one called Lark, and she's a woo dog.
Really?
She woos all the time. Yeah, she's always wooing.
Is that she's wooing all the time, or is it because she's happy, or she wants feeding, or there's a postman out the side, or
postman's like, sorry, you should have gone out and left me, and just going on and on and on and on. But they start it so young, like 9-10 weeks old, they start to woo at you, and you go, oh my goodness, I got a woo dog. It's very special. Woo dogs are.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes him even more unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was reading some stats not long ago, and the amount of Westies been registered on the English Kennel Club over the period of from 2012 to 2022, over a 10-year period, there was just over 26,000 Westies registered. And when you compare that, I think they were the third most popular terrier within the UK. Compared to like the Labrador, which was like 380,000, and then the Retriever 85,000 registered in the same period. It's and the statistics actually declined over those 10 years with the Westie.
Yeah, they have.
Which is a shame to see, to be honest, because they're such beautiful, brilliant dogs. I think what we need to do as part of this podcast as well is just to not sell them, but promote the benefits of them, because they're so versatile, they're so adaptable, so flexible. I mean, you could have one in the city, in a one-bedroom apartment in the city, and they'd be quite content as long as they get their exercise, their mental stimulation.
Yeah.
And then you can have them out in the country as well, with fields to go. And particularly in the cost of living crisis over here at the moment, they're not expensive. So this is the whole point of why we established Westies and Besties magazine and the podcast and the website and everything else that we're doing to promote and to increase the sort of population of them. But we've got to be careful not to call them sort of like a trend breed, they've been around for so long, and it's so encouraging when you mention the young girl and started inquiring about this when she was 9. She's 11 now, but she's doing so well. And it's reassuring to see at Crufts, when you see the junior Crufts as well, their members, the little kids with all different types of breeds.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see that, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's lovely watching the juniors, and they are our future, of the dogs, for showing and to bring them on and breed them, because I'll say we're all aging out, and in the UK too. I mean, there's some new ones I see coming in, but we are all aging out, and nicely bred and raised. Not, I think the numbers have dropped, but I also think the numbers coming from not such reliable sources is increasing, because they are very often less money. But, in the long run, you're better off getting nicely bred and raised, because the breeder will be there for you all the way along. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're buying from not such a reliable source, you can be left in the lurch, and then you have a problem and off to the vet you go, and the vets can often say, oh, it's such and such, oh, it's a Westie, you got allergies, and half the time it isn't. Half the time it's something quite simple, like it's a big swimmer and it's not been dried properly, and you have to understand that they've got a raincoat on top of a wool vest, and if the wool vest gets wet, it can't dry because the raincoat won't let it. So, and then you get that allergy things from the vets, and down the slippery road you go. Instead of simple bathing and drying, we'll fix it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think also diet plays a big part in this as well, Catherine?
We feed everything, and I have had one over the years that was terribly sensitive to chicken, anything with chicken. But in general, these guys get everything. Like, they are what they eat, same as we are. So a big variety is better than, they can't live off a bag of dry dog food. If dry kibble was the be all and end all, we'd be dropping it to the starving hundreds, wouldn't the thousands, wouldn't we? Mm-hmm. If it was such a good product. That's my opinion. But, so yes, I think everything, they need a good variety of diet.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're not just carnivores, they're omnivores, aren't they?
That's right, yeah.
So when we've covered this, it's quite extensively on the content uploaded on the website, the magazines, by experts who really know their stuff. So, but again, going back to breeding, how do people know that they're dealing with a reputable and professional breeder like yourself, Catherine? Is that the postman, is it?
There's probably a rabbit.
Right. So if they're unsure, they want to get a puppy, or are really cautious about going through the right channels, what should they be looking for?
Well, a breeder that not only always registers, like that's your absolute minimum, is a registered dog with the KC or the CKC is your minimum. And then they should belong to breed clubs, and they should participate in different activities with the dogs. So, if you're talking to somebody and they say, or you're looking for a puppy and they say, oh yeah, we do such and such, and oh, it could be so much fun at Sprinter, or we did barn hunt, and because barn hunt's brilliant. I don't know if they do it in England yet, but it is so much fun for the dogs.
Tell me, sorry, Catherine, just tell me a bit more about the barn hunt. Tell me a bit more
barn
about
hunt
that.
is, we have rats hidden in little tunnels, and they hide them in amongst hay bales, and the dogs have to find them in a certain space of time. And we have rat wranglers, because the rats have to be really well cared for. They're not allowed to hurt the rats, so they'll hide them into different bales, and then they have to learn to go through a tunnel. So a tunnel of hay bales, they'll go through that, and they have to jump up, and they have to find them. And they have so much time to find, say, 4 rats, like 2 minutes to find 4 rats, and they have to speak when they find them. And they can bark, and they can nudge the tunnel that the rat is in, but they can't hurt it, because the rat's got a life too. So, but it's a great deal of fun. And Lolly is our biggest ratter. She's just absolutely crazy. She's speaking as soon as you arrive. So again, it's all fun, It's anything that will entertain them or stimulate them. And I think they're probably one of the most undervalued working breeds. We have one Westie. His name is Nevis, and he lives in Victoria, and he has his own ratting company. So he takes them out to different farms in the evenings, and if somebody phones him and lets him loose, and I think 32 is his biggest number in one evening.
Wow.
Yeah, and around a chicken hut. So he puts pictures up, and he's from Scotland. His owner's called Ian. He's from Scotland, but yeah, so he's strong, and man, can you get them? It's quite a sight to see.
Oh, I bet 32. Wow. In how long again? Sorry, Catherine.
Just
for the night, one evening.
Yeah, a couple of hours, I think it was. Just, I know, I just shake my head when I'm grooming him, thinking, I don't know.
I'm grooming a serial killer here.
Exactly. Got a beautiful coat too. Yeah, so yeah.
Wow.
But he's definitely seriously undervalued as a working dog, I think.
Mm-hmm. You don't see much of them actually doing what they're hardwired to do, to be fair.
No. But once you've got that opened, once you've got that scent, that instinct going, there's no stopping them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Clifford the other day, he was raised in the UK, but the other day there were rabbit went under the fence, and he had that fence. It's dug into the ground here, of course, but he had that fence out, and he was pulling it, and he was under, and he's the only dog in 15 years that's got out, and he's the biggest. So he was out and under that fence after the rabbit because that instinct is now awake. So he came back, of course, but and my son came and buried the wire again.
Well, their shapes, like they've got a bullet shape, aren't they, in the bodies? Yeah, purely for that sort of reason, to get in, go tunneling.
Yeah. So if that head can get in, they can get in.
Yeah.
And they can turn around in no time at all, in no space at all. They're incredible, actually. And when they go flat, when you watch them go down, we call it frog dogging, but they're designed to do that so that they can crawl down into tunnels.
Yeah. So, so the front paws are for digging and the back legs to push them to get them further down.
Yeah. And we call it, that's when, everybody says, oh, he's frog dogging. Yeah, he's frog dogging because he's designed to frog dog.
Fascinating. Wow. You learn something new every day. That's brilliant. Yeah. Fantastic. So going back to the how to find a good breeder, Catherine.
Yeah. And then you can go to the breed clubs because most breed clubs. We have 2 in Canada. There's the national and ours. And you can find, usually there's a list of breeders on there. And you can go to the one that's closest to you. And lots of people send out, will send out multiple emails to the breeders on those lists to see where we're at. And then you should go and visit that breeder long before there's puppies. You should go visit so that you know what you're coming up against and where the puppy will be raised. And if that breeder doesn't want you coming to the house, if she's got newborns, that's understandable. But you should be able to see where your puppy's born, where your puppy's raised, where the parents are, and the life they live. And if you walk in and there's just all you're looking, if you walk in and you've been invited to see a litter of puppies, you should have already done your homework before you see them, because that's emotional blackmail. Just walking in and seeing these beautiful little puppies roaming around. You don't see anything else. You don't see anything but the puppies. So, and you've got to be able to trust that breeder because it's a lifetime event. You want to know that breeder's there. You want to know that that breeder's at the end of the phone if you need it. And we send all our puppies out with, and I'm not advocating for insurance, but we send all our puppies out with free insurance for a month, and then they have to continue it to the puppy's 12 months. During COVID, of course, we lost a great deal of number of vets, and no one could get vets. And now they've set up these veterinary emergency services that are very, very expensive. They're there 24/7, which is what we need, but you walk in the door and you're looking at $500 to $1,000. Your puppy picks up something on the beach and it's Saturday afternoon. You're looking at $500 to $1,000 just to walk in the door. So that insurance can pay for itself very nicely and they'll pick up a marijuana toke on the ground because it's legal here. People just chuck them, and the puppies love them because they're sweet. They're very, very attracted to it, dogs, and it can make them very sick in a hurry. So,
Wow.
Keep it through that first year, because that's the year when they'll jump off something or eat something or do something they shouldn't do. I mean, they do it all their lives, but they're more likely to do it up to 12 months. So, and then, so if you feel comfortable with that person and being able to deal with that person, and you walk into the home and the home is clean and tidy and they're welcoming, the breeder welcomes you, then you're probably go in the right direction.
And is there a sort of regulation that the breeders have to follow? Is there a guide?
We have a code of conduct and a code of ethics within the CKC and our own breed clubs. And that could be as simple as we don't breed our girls until third season, or, they've got to be mentally sound, and, because sometimes they're mentally sound at 12 months, grown up, by that. Other times they're 18 months. Like Amy's just off the wall still. She's 13 months. She's just crazy. So, will she be sound enough at 18 months to be a mother? We'll see. But, it's every one of them's different. So, we have, and you can look for those on the CKC website, and you can report if you find that we're in breach of that code of conduct or code of ethics. So we do take them seriously.
Yeah. What are the sort of repercussions to that, to not, to being cutting corners?
Well, if you're reported to the CKC, and they find that you're guilty, they can fine you. They can remove you from the CKC. You can have we don't have licenses, but you can have your membership revoked, and therefore you can't register dogs anymore. So you do have to mind your P's and Q's as possible. I mean, you should be accountable to somebody. Everybody should be accountable to somebody, I think. But so, you do have to follow the rules if you can. But I mean, it's a big country, so a lot of it's on trust, right? Because, nobody's going to come and police us because the country's too big, and who would police us? And so we try.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a tough one because it is a huge country, but if it can't be policed, like you said, it must be frustrating. So do you hear a lot of stories with people who thought they were going to a good breeder when in fact turned out that they weren't?
Yes, I've heard a few, and we do the Westie walks to raise money for Westie Rescue of Canada. So we've been involved in that for many years too. And it's sad when you see, oh, we knew we shouldn't have taken her, but, we couldn't leave her there. That's the sort of thing that you get, and you go, okay, but all right then. So what can we do to help is the best thing. So, and they don't get that if you don't buy a registered dog, you could have bought a mother-son mating, brother-sister mating. Because if you don't have that piece of paper that says this is the lineage of the dog, how do you know? And do you think the less than reputable breeders care? They only care about the check, money in the bank. So you do need to be careful and insist on registration.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was rescue calling me.
That's right. Your name dropped them, and they were like, "Oh, we got to mention, right?" Right. Okay. So it's it's basically like you said, all on trust.
Yeah, it is.
So you just got to think that somebody's going to be doing the right thing. But if they don't, I mean, what's the sort of what? How much are people charging for Westies? I mean, what's the sort of? I mean, the scrupulous ones are probably going way off the charts for them, are they?
The average in our area is $3,500 a puppy, $3,500 a puppy. The less than the unregistered ones, I should say, are probably quite a bit less. Further east you go, I think if you get into Ontario, I think some of the big breeders probably charge $4,000 and more, $1,000 and more. But on the average, I'd say $3,500 to $4,000 is the average, I would think.
Yeah. Okay.
And when you think our litters are, the Canadian average is 3.8 puppies per litter. So, we like fours. Fours are lovely because they're not too hard on mum. But yeah, so it's not a money making project. That I think there's a saying, isn't there? If you want to make money out of Westies, or you have to start with if you want to make a small fortune out of Westies, you've got to start with a large one. Large fortune to get a small fortune, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we like to think they pay their way, but I'm not so sure.
And so do you find that a lot of people come to you for this type of advice then? If they don't want to buy from you necessarily, would you then give them recommendations to other sort of breeders in their area, perhaps?
Absolutely. We work very closely together with those that are within our club. And if I don't have a puppy available, and I'll pass them on to one of my other friends who might have a puppy available. Like there's one coming out from Calgary, from Petra, next month, because I didn't have anything available. And the puppy in the hand, because Westie's quite hard to find here. So we do often have wait lists for our puppies. So, a puppy in the hand is what I said to them. Yes, we're hoping for puppies, but, what if I had 4 boys? So yeah, we try and help each other, because that's what we're about, especially within Club Westie. Very much, trying to help each other and sharing contacts, and we want happy Westies and happy owners is what we're after.
Yeah, of course.
Preserve the breed somehow.
Yeah, no, good. That's brilliant. What type of potential Westie guardian do you come across, or is it a mixed bag from like families, young families, professionals, or?
Yeah, all across the board.
Yeah,
but I'm not super comfortable about sending a puppy into a family with children under 6, because I find that they can be a bit, just little thoughtless. So we try and say no. If your children, wait till your children are 6, and then you'll find it much easier for everyone. Because you're taking home a £5 puppy, and it gets dropped. I'm not so worried. I'm not worried about your children. I'm worried about my puppy. My puppy's not going to hurt you, even though it's got teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, children under that age as well are just, they're just a bit rough, aren't they?
They're just a little bit thoughtless. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you give them any step-by-step guide in the literature at all?
Yes, they all go out with a handbook. We call it an owner's manual. Here's your little owner's manual and things like that. And we're very lucky, because very often our puppies are pretty well crate trained before they leave, and they're pretty well house trained. I'd say they're about 80% house trained, because we've got such a nice setup, and it's sort of evolved over the last 15 years that we've been in this house. So yeah, and then they get their manual, and you have to do this, and this, and this, and you get a phone call the next day, slept through the night. Yeah, good. You read all these things. My puppy cried all night, and you're thinking, oh, poor little thing. But yeah. So it's just having a tantrum. But when they realize that it's a puppy tantrum, not a fear silly thing. Westies have tantrums, they don't usually have. Not scared and what have you. So, but crates are a big thing. They're very important that puppies are crate trained.
Right.
And I tell them to think crib, not crate. Don't think about it being a crate. Think about it being a baby crib. Put your 2-year-old in a crib to sleep. So why wouldn't you do that with your puppy? And it gives them a different perspective rather than caging. So I find that very helpful. Yeah. So
yeah, that's good. Just the right choice of words just makes a big difference for the perception, doesn't it? Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Same with neutering and spaying. You don't really need to neuter your dog, but spaying is, we only spay because of biometria. So, but they have to be at least 2. We want them to be fully grown up, and I've been a huge advocate from that forever, even with the first 2 we had. So
would you say that was a more a behavioural thing? When a Westie guardian would actually say, right, okay, let's get them neutered, but would you think it's just their environment, particularly around young kids, or?
I think it's what the vets tell them to do, mostly.
Right.
Get them, when you're going to get 8 months, then we're going to get him neutered. I know you're not. You've just signed a contract to say he'll stay intact till he's 2. And if you never do it, I don't care, as long as you know that he can't be used indiscriminately. But if you've picked that family, you should be able to trust them as much as they can trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some out there, many of them out there that have never been neutered, never been used, but never been neutered either. So I mean, they need their hormones. That's what they're there for.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you work closely with vets as well, Catherine?
I've had a fantastic vet. His name was Keith Gray, and he's retired now, but he taught me so much. Like, he'd kick me up the arse if needed. He would really, honestly, he was just the best man. Taught me so much, made me think about what I was doing, and then when he retired, we got Gillian, and she's from Ireland, and she's just been brilliant. She's really, really good to me, really helpful, and yeah. So I've been very, very lucky. And if you don't have a good vet, then you can be really up the creek without a paddle. Somebody that you can trust.
Yeah.
So
no, totally agree. It's having a good doctor or a bad doctor.
exactly.
Your health will depend on their advice.
Yep.
Yeah. So same with dogs, Westies. Yeah. And you mentioned earlier when we were talking earlier in regards to lockdown and the vets. Were they not sort of proactive? Were they not available, or was then that cause an issue?
What happened when lockdown was everybody wanted a puppy. Everybody in this country wanted a puppy. And the vets were just overwhelmed when we came out of lockdown. They were just overwhelmed. There wasn't a puppy in any of the SPCAs, anything. Every single puppy was taken. And I was getting like 6 inquiries a day, not just me, all of us in our breed, because we have the puppies. And then, of course, when we came out of it, a lot of vets had retired, shut down, and were just overwhelmed with all these puppies that were coming in. So at one time we'd say, if you haven't got a vet, you can't have a puppy. That is easing now. And of course, a lot of the dogs are being returned. And we, with Westie Rescue, in Canada, we shall see 5, 6 a year. Across the country, we're already, I think, at 8, as they're aging and people took them inappropriately. So we've got a few more coming in now, which is why we have the Westie walks, right, to raise the money for rescue. But yeah, it's much, much better than it was, the vets now.
Oh, good. Yeah, because that's a bit of a problem over here as well, where the cost of living as well has been a big thing. It was a great idea at the time, people being lonely, totally get that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Westie's great for your companion dogs as well, really. But now there's a lot more of the dogs actually getting sent, and they Battersea and places like this, they're just getting overwhelmed at the moment, to be honest. But it's funny how it was like this at first, then COVID, and then there was a lot of dog crime as well. Not dog crime. I'm not saying dogs were committing crimes, but people stolen.
Yeah, selling them.
Yeah, being robbed.
Yeah.
At knife point, the owners walking down the streets and people coming up with knives and taking their dogs off them in the vans. It was unbelievable, like the Wild West. But that seems to have tapered out a bit now. But then now you're seeing a lot more dogs then going back into, and then there goes the cycle again. So yeah, it's interesting times. But but to be honest though, Westies over here in the UK, you don't see many Westies at places like Battersea and places like that, to be honest. So that just goes to show, it just goes to show about their guardians being probably just a bit more mature and had a bit more proper thought process before purchasing a Westie. Well, what are your thoughts on that, Catherine?
Well, I think that if people wait, you have to wait for your Westie, then it's okay. But very often the people won't wait, and they'll go off down into the US and they'll pick up something off a puppy mill or off the internet and then bring it back. And then, 5 years later, they've got problems, or 2 years later, they've got problems. And if they get turned into the SPCA, then we can't get them as a rescue organization. But if they're turned into one of the humane societies, they'll usually relinquish them to us. So, which is great, but it's typically the less reputable puppies that come back in rather than the ones that they bought from reputable people, reputable breeders.
Right.
We don't have a lot, but when we get them, they're usually sick. They all come in with wounds.
Wounds?
As not whether they be internal or external, not so much wounds, but mental problems and.
Right. Sorry. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's sad. So that's a big problem as well in Canada. You find, yeah. So you find that when people come back with a sick Westie, let's say, do they then come for you for that advice? I know they're sort of reputable breeders like yourself as well.
They may do, or there are contacts at our rescue society who will try and give advice, or they will turn the dog into us, and then we will care for it. Sometimes they're permanent fosters and stay with people.
Great.
But or they just don't know where to go. If they've bought indiscriminately, they sometimes just don't know where to go. They go on the internet. Oh, there's a Westie. I'll have that one. It comes up from the States or gets delivered, and they don't know any different. So
it's better just to be a bit more patient, isn't it?
Yeah, got to wait. Because we don't keep them in the top drawer.
That would be a lovely world to live in, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah, my husband say that one day. Well, she doesn't keep them in the top drawer,
Let me just get one for you. 1 second. Yeah. There we go. We've got a few. How many do you want? 1, 2. Awesome. So that brings us nicely on to what you're doing for the charity and to raise funds. So the Westie Walk. So tell us a bit more about that, Catherine.
The Westie Walks were founded in 1999 over in Vancouver, and they've held them annually right up until COVID, of course, and it's 2 years without. On the island, it started in the early 2000s, and it's evolved to where we are now. And then with COVID, of course, we were down for 2 years, but we decided to split it because we used to have one big walk in Victoria, but we split it so that we can have one in Victoria and one in Nanaimo, because lots of people don't want to drive all that way down. So we had 40 something in Victoria in May, and we just had 43 in Nanaimo. So that's 80, nearly 90 Westies. And I think Vancouver had 90, and Calgary had 46, I think, on Sunday. So each one of those walks, any funds raised go to rescue. We send off to rescue. But it's fun. It's organized by our club, by Club Westie, but we raise the funds for rescue.
Great.
So we're sort of hand in hand. We've always supported Westie Rescue from the founding of Club Westie, which was in 2011.
Oh, so, well done. Well done.
Round out as breeders, I think is the term we said, because we give back, trying to give back. So, but they're a lot of fun, and lots of people come and can ask questions, and you get to see all the different Westies from all across the country, and where did yours come from? Oh, we brought him out from so and so or whatever. And you think, well, I didn't see that. Anyway.
Wow. And how are the Westies interacting? They're all like,
oh, they're so good. They are so good. You think they'd all be, but nope. They're really, really good, and they trot along behind the piper, and some of them go, "What is that?" when the bagpipes start, but
you proper really go to town on it. You get a piper as well. Is he dressed up in his kilt and everything? Is he?
Oh yeah. He's absolutely brilliant. He's really but he has a Westie. Hello. He's from Cornwall, but his wife's from Scotland. So, and he plays bagpipes, but it's really good. He's a really nice guy. So
brilliant, excellent. Yeah. So I've just seen is that Clifford that just come through, or
Clifford.
Okay. He was looking up. He had a stroll outside, making sure that the perimeter was safe. Was he?
Yeah, my husband, he says. Yeah, he's
awesome. Brilliant. Tell us a funny little tell us something, a little trait or something about Clifford that makes you crack up with laughter.
Oh, he's a hand holder. Have you ever had a Westie that hand holds? That's
Go on.
another very special trait. Whenever I come home, he holds my hand, puts his teeth here,
Uh-huh.
and walks around with my hand. And
Wow.
yeah, it's that. I find that's a very special trait when they hold your hand, or you'll hold my jacket, or it's usually like my hand, and he just walks around me holding on to it. You have to follow him.
Wow. Have you looked into that? Why they do that? Is it a
No,
behavior?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just he just so pleased to see you. He just wants to be with you, right? Because he doesn't leave my side very much. Do you, fella? No. Oh. Unless you go on the fence after the rabbit.
Or does he grab your hand in his mouth and then take you to his bowl?
Oh yes. Yeah. This way, Mum.
It's dinner time. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go. Awesome. That's fascinating. Well, thank you for that, Catherine. With the more information in regards to breeding and showing, the barn thing was amazing as well. That's great. So what I would like to do, if you don't mind, is to go into a quick fire round with you, if that's okay. We're proving very popular with the Westie Guardian community, to be honest. If you're happy with that, we can just use Clifford as a example. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. So they're all fun. It's nothing serious. So, and it's not a test. You're not being judged or examined. So, okay. So what's the one snack Clifford can't resist?
It's silver spur chicken strips.
Ooh, class. Awesome. Okay. And what's the biggest diva moment? When do they demand attention?
When I come home.
Fair dues. So what's their zoomies style? Is it laps around the sofa or tearing up the garden?
Tearing up the garden.
And fences.
And fences.
What would you say their favourite prey is? Is it squirrels, pigeons, or the neighbour's cat?
Well, we have a feral cat because we have to feed this feral cat because of the neighbours, and that's their favourite prey. If they could get it, they can't because it's on the other side of the fences, but cat.
Awesome. The toy that must go everywhere with him.
A little tiny panda bear from IKEA.
Oh, nice. Is it a soft toy or is it
yes,
a rubber?
It's a soft one. Little soft one. I don't know where it is right now. Can't see where it is, but it's a little tiny from IKEA, little tiny panda from IKEA. Carries it around with him.
Oh, great. What's the funniest, most embarrassing nickname you call him?
What do you most? I don't know. Hey, Clippy. Well, we call him Cliffhanger.
Right. That's a good one. Excellent. So, do they prefer a muddy countryside stomp or a clean beach walk?
They like the beach walk because they all like to swim.
Brilliant. And what's their most stubbornest habit? So you could shout at them, bribe them, beg them, and they still won't budge.
Bark.
What's their best cuddle spot? Is it on your lap, tucked under the duvet, or stealing your seat?
On my lap.
Nice. And what's their ultimate guilty pleasure? Sock stealing, bin raiding, barking at the postie, or digging to Australia?
Digging to Australia, I think, at the moment, Clifford.
Oh, great. Okay. So that brings us on to the bonus curveball questions, just a bit of extra fun. Okay. So if your Westie had a job, what would it be? Would it be Chief Squirrel Inspector, Snack Quality Controller, or Professional Napper?
Squirrel.
Great. Okay. And what's their signature look? Is it like freshly groomed teddy bear or scruffy little rebel?
He's a rebel. Scruffy little rebel.
The last one for this one is, if they could say one sentence to you, what do you think it would be?
Hurry up.
Excellent. Okay, so that's the quick fire round for the Westie. All right. This is for the Westie Guardian. So this is for you, Catherine. Okay.
Oh,
So nothing too serious. It's a bit of fun. All right. So the morning routine with your Westie, is it a quick walk before work or long leisurely stroll with a coffee?
long leisurely walk.
Now, do you normally go on the same route or do you change it up every day?
No, we change it up. Some days we're up on Cobble Hill Mountain they do about 5K up there. And then
Wow.
other times we're down on the beach where they can swim or at the river. So they can splash in the river and muck around. So we try for an hour and a half every morning with them. And then they'll leave me in peace like they are now for an hour or so.
So this is a respite at the moment.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I'll hurry up then before they start demanding
We'll
things.
be starting.
Okay, so your favorite weekend vibe. So dog-friendly pub lunch, beach adventure, or Netflix cuddles on the sofa.
Beach adventure.
Perfect. And now, when shopping for your Westie, do you go premium brands, value finds, or a bit of both?
A bit of both.
Nice. Now, Westie wardrobe. Okay, every Westie has one. So, collars and harnesses only, or jumpers, raincoats, the full fashion show.
Just slip leads
Wow.
and a
Okay.
raincoat. We don't use collars.
Brilliant. Travel style. So staycations in the countryside, city breaks, or jetting off without them.
Oh, staycations with them. Right, fellas?
Fantastic. Do you go further afield? Do you travel a bit more extensively throughout Canada, or just keep it more sort of regional, local?
We've done some traveling across the country, but mostly if we're going to shows, it'll be fairly local these days.
Right.
Aging
Great.
out, you know.
And how they like traveling? Are they really good traveling, are they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sitting
Yeah.
on the back seat yelling, hurry up.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you usually find dog products, like through your local pet shop, online pet stores, or social media recommendations?
We have a really good pet shop called in Duncan that it's not just, your typical go in the pet shop type shop. It's more, how can I put it? It's all over. It's horses and
Wow.
cats and
Yeah.
gardening and hay and horse feed. And that's really good. We find that
Wow.
really good. You get a really
That
good
sounds
variety and they bring stuff in specially and they're good. Yeah.
brilliant. So if they haven't got something that you would like, they could probably order it in, I'm presuming.
They'll get it in for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so let's go on to dog snacks. So home baked goodies, premium natural treats, or whatever they can actually sneak off your plate.
What they can get off my plate. Right to Mr. Clifford.
I bet he's there looking like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And
What me?
And Maple's underneath me because she's underneath my computer here looking at me. Don't you, Maple?
Great. So exercise style. I know we've touched on this earlier, Catherine. Daily long walks, a few short bursts, or weekend warriors with big hikes.
Daily hikes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, excellent. Now, if your Westie gets pampered, is it a professional groomer's, DIY at home, or a spa day indulgence?
DIY at home.
Awesome. It's surprising how many people have asked this question too, and they do. There's more DIY at home for the grooming side. Interesting.
Yeah, we try and teach as much as we can. Like we have our puppies come back through that first year.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're local, so that we can help them learn how to groom them, how to keep them safe and well. And if they want to learn how to clip them, we'll try and do that. Teach them right shampoos. And if they want to learn how to strip, we try and do that too. So the more DIY, the better. I mean, I've got lots of friends that are groomers, but it's such a nice thing to groom your own dog, groom your Westie and keep them tidy, and rather than send them off and have them clipped off and some fancy shampoo and so yeah, we try, don't we, fellas?
And I think also, because I've done that as well with our Westie, but you're strengthening the bond as well at the same time, aren't you?
Yeah.
The trust side of things, really important. Yeah.
And you can find things that you wouldn't know, like you get to know what their ears look like and what the tail looks like, and where's this lump come from, and you've got a fat lump on your hip, time to cut back, or or lovely feel of the muscles on the hind legs, we're doing a good job. So much that you find and feel.
Absolutely, yeah. Totally agree. Yeah. So social life, part of your Westie's dog community group, or a solo bond with your bestie? That made sense.
No.
That makes sense? No,
No.
Sorry. Social life. So are you part of a Westie or dog community group, or more of a solo bond with your pup?
No, we're a group.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both as well, Catherine.
Yeah.
Home style. So Westie has free reign everywhere, or do you try to set boundaries?
They have free reign.
Of course, it's a Westie.
Yeah. They're home.
I bet they got access to all the beds everywhere, just full access, VIP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So dog care spending, do you budget carefully, splurge when it feels right, or go all out? They deserve the very best.
We give them the best that we can afford.
Yeah, good answer. Favorite way to treat yourself? And maybe your Westie, new clothes, eating out, gadgets and tech, or is it just purely dog accessories?
I don't know the answer to that. Dog accessories?
Good answer.
Yeah.
So your biggest pet parent pride, is it training successes, your Westie's personality, or your bond together?
Our bond.
Now, last one. If a brand gave you a free gift for your Westie, what would excite you the most? Would it be toys, grooming products, food or treats, or stylish accessories?
Grooming products.
Very good. Grooming products. Do you go more for the natural sort of products, or?
Yes. Well, we have strip rates, so I would be looking at wanting new stripping knives, or rocks, or chalk, or that sort of thing. Or really good shampoos. But we usually use Nice Roll, don't we, Nora? You're going to come say hi? Nora. Come here, baby girl.
Hello.
She's with Pup.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Mighty darling. Oh, and there's Anna Banana. That's the badass that's just walked in.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Oh, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
You lovely, aren't you, girly gig? Yeah.
Oh, fair play. Well, that's the end of the quickfire rounds as well, Catherine. Thank you very much for participating in that. That's excellent. It gives us a better idea of our sort of Westie Guardian community across the world.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. It's been a pleasure. If there's anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just keep on keeping on with the Westies. Yeah. Me. Oh, gosh, she's rolling something.
Oh, right. On that note then, back to do some grooming. Catherine, again, it's fantastic what you've been doing. It's brilliant to hear about your connection with the Westies. We will be in touch. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been a delight, and it's great to see all the guys and girls there as well, looking absolutely brilliant, by the way. So if there anywhere that people can actually look at supporting you a bit more with the Westie Walks, is there anywhere they can find you?
Yeah, they can always look on the club website. They're usually on there. And they can also look on the Westie Rescue of Canada site. They'll be on there as well. And it's all about fun. It's all about coming out, having some fun, and meeting some other Westie people, and supporting those that are less fortunate, and preserving the breed as best we can.
Yeah, we're 100% beside you on this one. Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Club Westie website, which is Eda Boas looks after that for us, complimentary, and she does the Westie Rescue one in Canada too. So big connection to the UK still. So kudos to Eda for her donating her time to keep the websites up to date.
Absolutely, totally agree. This is great. So we'll put all the links in the bio underneath as well, Catherine, for you, so people can find you easily. Okay.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Catherine.
Thanks, Alex.
All the best. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hi, we hope you loved today's episode of the Westies and Besties podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and tune in for the next episode. Now, if you'd like to be a guest, please feel free to contact us on the details below, as we would be delighted to share your story and to meet your Westie.